me again. I've got another build to share with you. I'm building a medium, I would say it's a medium sized house. And I think it's on a 30 by 40 lot. So yeah, it's kind of based on a contemporary industrial theme. Kind of clean, clean cut, and very matchy. So we're doing that today. Just getting the layout together for the house. Like I said, I wanted it to be kind of matchy, so I actually removed those walls to make it all one room. When I started building the outside walls, I already kind of had an idea of where it would all go. So the layout kind of flowed out of me. I didn't really have or need to really think about it. So yeah. So right now I wanted it, like I said, industrial. So I'm creating windows that are more sunken in to give it more of a industrial building warehouse feel. So yeah, I'm creating some columns out of walls to make it look a little better, and to kind of chop up the back because it was a really long piece and I realized it wouldn't look like the windows were sunken in if I kept it the way it was. So. Alright. We are almost done doing that part. It's like the most boring part. So. Okay. I realized that I also do 360 turns a lot because I like to take a look at the whole house after I've finished a certain part. That's why I do that so often. So I did it after the columns. I'm probably going to do it after the windows, and I'm probably going to do it after the landscaping and the roof and every other part. So sorry if I make you a little motion sick. See, I did it right there too. It's a habit. And so what I was doing was creating the landing area for the stairs. I wanted it to be kind of a look like where you look out and see the foyer, the downstairs foyer, and the downstairs living area, so that you could kind of look down on everybody. I think houses that do that are so cute, and I think it's more industrial. It looks more industrial that way too. But I ended up not doing that for the living area. I actually am building a room there because I didn't like that it was only 2 bedrooms because I wanted it to be bigger than the last build that I did and uploaded. So and this build only has 2 bathrooms in it. There's one downstairs and there's one upstairs. And then the room downstairs is the office. And what I'm doing now is getting all the doors and windows put on. I really wanted to use floor-length windows and make it kind of look like all the garage doors on an industrial warehouse were removed and replaced with windows. So that's what we're doing here. Making them all kind of flow and look really cool and contemporary, I guess. I don't know, I really like it. I like to build things with lots of windows. I wouldn't want to live in a dark and dreary area, so I assume Sims don't either. Also, it makes it easier for gameplay if you create a build that's so dark that you can't see your Sim. Like, that's not fun. So just adding the roofing now. Trying to excuse me, make it match, which it never does, so I have to fix it, and I chop the edges off on that side. And then I get rid of the corners because I decided that they made it look a little too blocky. And I'm just getting flower beds put in place so that there's a spot for like all the flowers and stuff, because I do actually landscape in this video. I don't usually record myself landscaping homes or builds on The Sims. I'm just putting the stairs in, and I was going to make the front stairs different from the back, but I decided not to. And I paint the flower beds with the brown terrain paint. Don't really know why, because on most of them you can't even see it after I place all the plants and the bushes and stuff, so. Now I'm trying to find a fence that matches that one because I didn't want to use the trellis fence all the way around. I ended up using the hedge, the taller hedge, the trellis fence, and then a little bit of the tall brown fence. I only use the tall brown fence so that I can use the gate. Because on the trellis fence you can't actually put a gate on it, which sucks. So. Okay, here's where I start placing furniture. Those lights actually inspired the entire build. I wanted to originally do black, gray, and white, but it actually kind of messes up real quick. When I was placing these counters, I realized that if I did a white counter, the countertops would be a different color, and I wanted all the countertops to match in color, and just the cabinets be different. So I actually do some fidgeting and looking around to see if I can find countertops that matched. And I found those turquoise ones. And they matched the best, and I thought they actually looked really good, so I chose them. And on the back wall with all the windows, I chose to do smaller cabinets so you could utilize the windows the way you needed to. And then I thought, a huge island would be great. Except it wouldn't be. It's actually way too big for the kitchen. So I did some fidgeting to see if I could make it line up with the windows in the front of the house. But I couldn't without making the walk around area too small. So I do actually end up nixing it and getting rid of it. Maybe in a more grand, a larger house, I'll add it. I think I was getting food, sorry. And it does lag for a couple of seconds here. It does stop. So sorry about that. Yeah, so I've gotten rid of the island at this point, and I actually start looking to place a bar. Just trying to get the right countertops and the right colors. And I actually think this is my favorite kitchen that I've built so far because of the colors. I didn't realize I really loved that color until I did this build. And I do actually end up carrying the turquoise color throughout the house to make it fit together, since it's all one big room. Well, not all throughout the house, throughout the first level of the house. I'm just placing the small appliances at this point, and then the clutter items. I did hide the smoke detector. There is a smoke detector, so don't worry, I'm not gonna let you burn your Sims and kill them on accident. I'm just placing the clutter items now. I really love that mug rack, and I use it in almost every build. But I couldn't figure out how to make it fit without taking up all the counters, because there's not very many in the game, or in the build, that are usable anyway. So I wanted to actually put it on the same counter as the coffee maker. And I got the matching china cabinet to kind of add more color into it. I was looking for more clutter items because I felt like there wasn't enough, apparently. Now I'm looking for rugs. It took me a second to... I couldn't actually find one that had the teal in it, which is what I... or the turquoise in it, which is what I wanted, so I ended up going with that gray one. And now I'm looking for good lights to go over the bar and to go over the table. I actually pick different lights for the table. I was going to use the same lights for all, but didn't. The fluorescent light under the cabinets is actually something I think I got from Sim Supply. It's actually a really useful way to light up the room without placing more lights in the ceiling. So. And then I mentioned my last build that I don't like curtains and I don't use them. I tried in this build and then I gave up very quickly. I just don't think that it's meant for this build because it's all windows. And why would you cover up all your windows if that's probably the reason you bought the house? So, we're in the living room now. I really love that fireplace. I wasn't going to use it, as you can tell. And then I remembered that it came in that color. So I used it. And there's no actually matching love seats for those couches, so I had to use 2 chairs. But that's okay. I really like the setup in here. It's open. And I feel like everybody sits next to each other, so it's nice. And they don't have sectionals in this game. Something I wish they could bring back was sectionals. I think The Sims 2 was the last game to have sectionals. I don't know. I haven't looked at The Sims 3 in a really long time. So I'm making the mud room all nice and pretty. It's really just a room with absolutely no purpose whatsoever. It's just there. So I'm just lighting the downstairs area. Making sure there's no lights hanging from that blank spot, and there was, so I quickly got rid of it. And I was looking for like a nice little centerpiece, and then I ended up using the lights that I wanted to use so badly. I use them in every build. They're the kettlebell lights. They're my favorite. So now we're picking a floor. I didn't want to do gray, black, or white because I felt like it was too plain, so I ended up going with like a light brownish red that I've never actually used before. And I'm finishing up the foyer, and then I think I go upstairs to the master. Oh, I do all the floors in the house, and then I go up to the master. Yep. Sure looks like it. Oh, no. I'm jumping the gun a little. Now I go up to the master. Nope. Lighting. Oh. Important lighting. Sorry if you can hear my cat. She's meowing. Yeah, my dog's moving. Okay, so I decided to do the master blue and gray, I guess. I usually place the bed first and then go from there. And pick like an area to go with that. I didn't want to use those lights anymore. I thought they were only for the downstairs area. So I decided to go almost entirely upstairs without those lights. I don't think I used them once upstairs. I love those little chairs. They're like little ottomans that your sim can sit on. I wanted to make sure the lamp wasn't intersecting anything. Yeah, this is pretty much it for the master. I do come back and color the walls, but that's it. Oh, and add a rug later. Yep. Now on to the second bedroom. It's the second biggest bedroom in the house. I think I designed it for a teenage girl. And like I said, I placed the bed first. And the bed I placed has a comforter that has like turquoise, green, and yellow on it. So that's kind of what inspired the room, was the different colors on it. I put a little bit of green, a little bit yellow throughout the room. Just kind of make it look like somewhere where a teenage girl would like to be. But for the most part, it's rather plain. I don't do any like huge pops of color, like the walls aren't like some crazy color or anything. I almost did. I almost painted them the same color as that chair, and then I decided that was probably not a good idea. Right now I'm cluttering up the dresser area, because I know as a teenage girl my dresser was cluttered up real bad. That's where I did all my makeup and my nail polish and all that stuff. And when I was a teenager, I had a lot of candles too, so that's why those are there. I found these bead things. I don't think I've ever seen them before, but I've had them. So I decided to use them in the build. And those hearts are so cute. I think they're from Outdoor Retreat. I think they're so cute. I would love something like that in my house. Alright, I'm getting kind of laggy here. Painting the outside now. I decided to go with the dark brick color that I chose for the foundation, just to make it look more industrial. And it actually was tedious to paint the outside, because it was all segmented out and sectioned out real weird. So it actually took me a second to paint every little bit of it. And if there's some parts missing, I'm sorry, but I haven't noticed any. So just placing more lights for the upstairs, and then I'm about to start doing the other bedroom in a second. Just trying to pick good rugs for the rooms. And good. I think I start painting the rooms too. Nope. No, I do that later. Sorry. Okay. So like I said, picking a bed. Don't know which one to choose. Choose that one. Can't find any furniture that match perfectly. Delete it. Choose different bed. Yeah, I chose all the KinderCare stuff because it was easy, and I was getting really tired and bored at this point. This whole video was 4 hours before I sped it up, so I took quite a bit of breaks today. My friend is in the Marine Corps, and he's actually back from boot camp right now, so I wanted to take the time to hang out with him today. I didn't start filming until he went home to his mom's house. Was gonna do a rug, decided not to do a rug, because children don't care about rugs. And then I realized I didn't have a dresser for him, or her, whoever. So I actually had to go back and get one, and rearrange the whole room. And I don't know if anybody else feels this way, But I hate to put beds all the way on the side of the room. I like to have space on both sides of the bed. Because it bothers me if there's not. So yeah, that's why I ended up having to do that. And then I realized the toy box was in the way, so I just got rid of the nightstand altogether and put the toy box there as a nightstand. And I did the bedroom a light blue color. I don't ever like to use the same. I always use like lighter colors of the color that I want it to be. Just so it's not so over the top. Trying to fix some of the clutter. I added more. I love those 3 candles. See, I was gonna do over the top. And then I was like, wait, the rug's that color, so I can't do it. So I did a softer yellow. And then I think I'm putting some posters and more paintings in her room. Because what teenager doesn't have posters all over the room? My room as a teenager was bright green, and it had posters all over it. And then my little sister, my older sister moved out, so I took my older sister's room. And then my little sister took mine. And she hated it. And then I moved out, and she took my room, which was my older sister's room. Plus, the green room was really tiny. I wouldn't want to live there anymore. I wouldn't put my kid in a room that small. But when we initially got the house, I was last to choose a room because I have 3 siblings. I have an older sister, a baby sister, and then I have another older sister, but she has autism. So when it came to choosing the rooms in our house, my mom and my older sister, the autistic one, had to be near my. Let me start over. My little sister and my autistic sister had to be upstairs near my mom's room, and then me and my older sister were downstairs in the basement. My older sister didn't want to let me have the biggest room, so she took the big room and I took the small room. My autistic sister still lives upstairs, but my baby sister's upstairs bedroom turned into the kennel room for the dogs. Because my little sister couldn't stand listening to snoring, so when my older sister moved out, she moved downstairs. And now we're fixing the roof. But yeah, I would never I'd make my kids share a room before I give them the tiny room. But yeah, I was a middle child, so I have middle child syndrome. And I was the last to pick a room. And I didn't have a choice, so I had to choose the little room. I'm doing some landscaping here. I don't think I did landscaping on the last one on camera. Just because it's so tedious and it takes forever and nobody's interested in it. And I use all the same stuff when I landscape, which is kind of funny. Trying to find a good tile to go around the pool. And I go with that one because it complements the dark around the pool. So you want to figure out how to make 4th tiles, I think you do Control F. And I realized they weren't even, so I had to fix it. And right here is where I fix it. Yay, fixing stuff. I think from here on out is all backyard stuff. So it's all kind of boring. If you don't want me to leave it in, feel free to let me know. Just for future builds, if you don't want me to include landscaping. I won't. If you want like a whole landscaping video to see how I do it and how I choose things, we can do that too. That way you never have to see a landscaping video again, and if you do, you just watch that one. So I'm doing like the eating entertainment area now, the backyard. I had an idea that like a more well-off family lived in this house. Someone who would have a lot of business friends to entertain, and like a lawyer husband, and a stay-at-home mom, and like stereotypical Stepford wife, and lawyer husband. Kind of how I viewed this house after I started getting it together. Like a house where they had like an interior designer choose everything, and a gardener choose everything for the outside, and that kind of like Chip and Joanna Gaines came and created this house. Although they wouldn't, because it's not rustic enough. So. Excuse me. With Get Together, these little pool items that I'm putting in the bottom, that's where they all came from. They cause like steam, bubbles, stuff like that, and I think they're so cool. So I always put them in my pools. And I like to make sure my pools are really well lit, because I don't like to place the little lights everywhere. I don't have backyard stuff or romantic garden or anything, so I kind of just use what I can. I'm building a grilling area right here, but I end up ditching it altogether because I don't have the right grill for that, because they don't have backyard stuff. So I just ditched it. And spend like 10 minutes doing this just to have gotten rid of it. I literally tried everything to see if I can make it work, and it would work. It's just like I didn't want to deal with those panels in the back being mismatched, so I ditched it. I even tried different grills, and it just didn't look good to me, so I just put the grill there and leave it alone. And then I put a fire pit. I always put, like in a especially big backyard where you've got a lot of space, I always put a big barbecue or a big bonfire area, and then I also always put like a big garden area. I don't like to use the planters very much in the game, so I always create like a big garden area like that in like every build I have. So we're just adding some last finishing touches to the backyard. And then we're going to head into screenshots in a couple of minutes after I do the bathrooms, which were torture. I don't like furnishing bathrooms. I always do them all the same because I don't like them any other way. Only time I ever really take a lot of time on bathrooms is if I do like huge grand bathrooms in like mansions. So I did have a tough time configuring the master bathroom or the upstairs bathroom, because I realized like I need to put mirrors above those sinks, and I only had 2 walls that I could put them on where mirrors would be possible without covering up the windows. So I had to configure and kind of move everything around until I got to a good place where I could do that. And I was getting pretty close, but I couldn't figure it out. So, playing Tetris and Jenga with these pieces, and then I finally figured it out right there. And I used the same mirror I used downstairs, I just painted it white. This whole bathroom is black and white, and then the one downstairs is black and gray and turquoise. I always use the same floor tiles too. Sorry, not sorry. But hey, if you don't like my build, you can always renovate them and re-upload them to the gallery. And if you want me to see them, I will look at them and re-download them if I really like them. Yeah, now I'm just doing the finishing touches on the foyer area, and then we're going to jump into screenshots. after I've placed this accent desk in the mirror that goes with it. I'm really excited about the screenshots because it's a really pretty house. I think, anyway. If you don't like it, sorry. But I'm not going to build anything that I don't like. Unless it's like just for fun, like crappy apartment in city living or something like that. So, so much clutter. Yeah, here's the screenshots after I save. Alright, so I kind of go through just the layout of the house. This is the entranceway, and then I go into the kitchen, dining, living room, and so on. I didn't furnish the study on camera because I actually forgot about it, but you will see a screenshot here in a second where it's visible, and it's right here. Simple. It's smaller than I thought it was, so it doesn't have a lot in it. But yeah, if you like my videos or you like my builds, you can download them at Origin at EricaGP1218 from the gallery. They're all up there. And if you do like my videos, please subscribe. Please give me views. This is something I want to make a reality. It's something I want to actually make money on eventually and do because I actually love to do it. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you later. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.